And tonight on our Great American Panel, he is a former Deputy Assistant Secretary of State, Fox News contributor, USA Today columnist Bob Beckel is back with us. He served as Deputy White House Press Secretary and Deputy Assistant to President George W. Bush. Scott Stanzel is here, and she is a stand-up comedian, actress, and columnist. Ellen Karis is with us. How are you? Good to see you.
Good to see you.
All right. You did predict this would happen. Look, I never doubted the possibility it could happen. But you know what, Bob? I got to tell you something. We got to pass the bill to know what's in it. If we don't tie our hands, they're gonna keep stealing. And yes, you know, we will run the insurance companies. Those are Democrats. Oh, and by the way, we make the rules up as we go along. Alan C. Hastings, I bet you're proud of how your Democrats, bribed and intimidated and basically, all the methods. You approve of all these methods.
Could you repeat that question?
No,
I don't want you to repeat it. Look, I'm going to try to put this a little bit in perspective and not get into a big debate about it. We have fundamental differences about this. As parties, we have fundamental differences. We happen to believe the government should be involved in the medical system. Republicans don't. There was an honest debate here. It is now the law of the land. The question, I think, for everybody is to pull back. The left should not gloat. The right everybody ought to calm the rhetoric down here. People now have to decide how they're going to work under this health care system and how their families are going to deal with it. So I frankly don't want to debate it, to be honest with you.
How about we're going to have a debate over repealing it and its constitutionality, whether liberals like it or not.
Yeah. No, well, that's a whole different. You mean the issue about whether you can force somebody to buy insurance? I think that will be in the courts before that would happen in the bill, right? And my guess is under the 14th Amendment it will lose.
Since you mentioned honesty, though, do you think that CBO score was an honest score? I mean, sure. Do you really think that this bill, a $1 trillion bill, will save the country money?
In the long run, sure I do, yeah.
You believe that the double counting isn't happening of Medicare?
I tell you, Scott, the thing that bothers me a little bit about this is Republicans held the CBO as the great arbiter of dollars all through this process. And now all of a sudden when they go against their numbers, they find them to be an unresponsive organization. I think there is some counting here that is suspect at least. Not the least of which is the payback for doctors on the Medicare. They're going to get that. We know that.
There's also a Medicaid problem.
But the thing that amazes me is how surprised you all are by what it takes to get a major piece of legislation through. And to quote the former Mayor Daley, this is not beanbag we're playing here. You have to play tough politics.
It's smart that you quoted a Chicago politician.
Well, he was one of my heroes.
Well, I think that's interesting you said about not gloating, because Nancy Pelosi walked in with a gavel that I think she borrowed from the Flintstones, and a purple suit and purple shoes that she got from Prince. But I think the whole thing is it smells, and I don't understand the math, being a CPA before I became a stand-up comedian, which I know together. But I think the tax on the Cadillac plans is going to kill everybody. The flex spending is now going to be decreased. The penalties and the fact, since I've dealt with the IRS, having the IRS involved, that is bad.
Wait, hang on. They're creating 16,000 jobs for the IRS. Here's the question, though, here. The process has never been this corrupt. Special deals for unions. We'll change the rules. We'll change the laws. You can vote on a bill or not vote on a bill. We'll bribe senators from this state, that state, because we can't get this bill passed any other way.
Not only that, I think there were phone calls from Obama to some of these congressmen to say that he wasn't going to campaign for them.
What is the most politics you've been associated with? City Hall?
It was a repulsive and repugnant process. If you have a majority of 253 votes in the House and you have to bribe people to get to 219, what does that say about the bill itself?
Let me just say, my first job in government was to do the Panama Canal treaties, and I was 23 years old. I can tell you we got 68 votes, and I can tell you that we did every kind of deal we possibly could do to get that thing through. It happens all the time.
You don't find any of this repugnant and repulsive?
I don't find it surprising. Would I prefer not to see it done that way? Yeah. No, I'm so used to seeing it done, whether it's Democrats or Republicans. I don't know why everybody's so surprised. Well, is any of this right?
I thought we were supposed to have transparency and change.
The whole process of politics in America today almost defies the idea of transparency on both sides. And that's the problem with polarization. Well, look.
What about C-SPAN?
We have waited, those of us who believe in universal care. It's been 50 years. I was barely born when Harry Truman went after this. And for us, universal access has been the most important single goal we've reached for. We have now got it. Now, you don't like it, understand that.
Well,
it may or may not work.
So you probably don't like it.
I don't know. I wish it were single payer.
Hang on one second. But you're saying basically the ends justifies the means for this.
I think whatever it takes within the law.
Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes. No, you didn't hear my last point.
Within the law.
Within the law, to get 33 million Americans to have health insurance and live and be able to sleep at night with some peace of mind is well worth it as far as I'm concerned.
All right, we got to take a break. We're going to come back. And also, Tiger Woods gives his first interview. We will have some of that coming up and more with our great American panel. Straight ahead.